Hi everyone, Sandman here. This video is brought to you by a donation from Mr. Anonymous, and here's what he has to say. Hi Sandman, thank you for all the great work you do for MGTOWs and men across the world. My question is this. In one of your older videos you stated you can either love a woman or understand her, but you can't do both. Can you please elaborate on this? Also feel free to discuss a topic on your own as well. Keep up the great work. Well, Mr. Anonymous, thank you for your donation as well as your topic request. Once a man takes the metaphorical red pill and starts his path down the red pill rage, his ability to love women blindly as he once did begins to diminish. Once any rational man recognizes that a woman wants to turn him into a plow horse, how can he actually rationalize loving her? You know she's out to control you and manipulate you using her bosom, so how can a man fall in love with their captor unless, of course, you're a mangina or someone who relapses into blue pill ways? But eventually even guys that have partially digested the red pill and understand female nature get deceived less and less. Once you see the female chameleon monkey branching and being hypergamous, then you begin to identify female behaviors one after another. You start seeing the female mind like a computer program, responding to outside stimulus, but also a mind that generally lacks the same amount of curiosity and passion that a man has. Another aspect of female nature, which is plausible deniability, should also make you question the nature of love that women have. My mother, probably one of the better women out there, can't take responsibility for her actions even if they harm others. Most women will never admit to guilt unless by admitting to it they actually gain more power than they stand to lose if they lie. Women are like computers constantly calculating their social value in the hierarchy as well as you, the man that they're with. Let me ask you this, Mr. Anonymous. Do you love a computer? Do you love your cell phone? The answer is obviously no, but at the same time, many men love women, a biological being designed to put you under her spell and extract whatever she can, like a parasite. Even if she provides something for you, she will always calculate what you provide in return, which is always greater than what she gives you. That's the female social calculator for you. Are you really telling me that once a man understands all of this, he can actually fall in love like nothing happened? I went out with a few women and I felt the fight inside of me between loving and understanding, but every time my understanding of female nature eventually won out and the relationship ended. I knew that her goal was my eventual enslavement through sex and emotional love. And once it became obvious that wasn't going to happen, you could see the look of disappointment on the woman's face. Like she understood that she wasn't going to get what she wanted. And at that point, either I ended the relationship or the woman did. A woman wants a man's love, and if she can't have it, she can manipulate him to the fullest. Nature has made it incredibly easy for men to fall in love with women, even when we have the red pill knowledge. So yes, it is still technically possible to love a woman and understand female nature at the same time, but that love isn't going to last very long because you're either going to see her dark side, or you're basically going to learn more about female nature quicker, which basically means you'll reach the conclusion that it's a complete waste of time to date her because she has her own agenda. You either play a role in that agenda if she deems you worthy enough, or she discards you like a used Kleenex. That's why I encourage any man that's gone his own way to go out in there and date after he swallows the red pill with his new knowledge. At first you'll still be able to fall in love, but love will be something your red pill mind sees as an intruder. It's kind of like a story I heard about the monarch butterfly many years ago. When the caterpillar goes into the cocoon, the butterfly cells and the caterpillar cells fight it out to see who will emerge victorious from that cocoon. Obviously it's the butterfly, and the way I see it, taking the red pill when you do, and then you date someone, the red pill and blue pill parts of yourself fight each other to see who rules over your body. It's like the short video clip that I included in the description. There are two versions of yourself fighting it out. If you fall in love and surrender yourself to a woman, then you become a blue pill mangina white knight. But if you choose reason and rationality, then you become a man incapable of loving a woman as an equal because you recognize that she is nothing but. The video I included will explain in a visual way how I felt when I had the battle of the red pill and blue pill playing out inside my mind. The clip directly below that one will actually show you what film that was from. Think of it like being two separate people with two separate mindsets. Because when you love a woman, you start white knighting for her and all other women as well. All those happy bonding hormones inside of you are turning you into a completely different person, and you don't even know it most of the time. I was lucky enough to be producing videos when I was in love, but my mental sharpness started going away, and then I automatically started white knighting, and it was an automatic response. When I finally realized what was going on, it was shocking, and I realized that if I wanted to remain the man that I was, then I couldn't be in a relationship. Instantaneously, I was no longer afraid of being without a woman, but instead I became afraid of being in a relationship. Because I never wanted to see that weak-minded guy show his head ever again with regards to love. I was disgusted with myself. If you fully understand women and how they actually change you simply by being around them in your presence and not even using their feminine charms to manipulate you, then you will not be able to love a woman. You choose to be a free man serving yourself and your own desires, or you choose to be in love with the woman serving their desires. When you're in love, your rational ability to fight against what a woman wants basically disappears. When you're in love with a woman and you're in a relationship with her, your hormones prevent you from understanding female nature, or at the very least they do their best to counteract any red pill knowledge that you might be aware of. It can be a big battle inside of you for control, and if you relapse after taking the red pill. Unfortunately, I told some of the women that I was dating about my MGTOW channel and they kept quiet about it, but tested me to see how dedicated I was, and even asked me to stop producing content. They didn't seem to care about how I felt and were more interested in how everyone else out there that they knew would actually feel about it if they found out what I was doing. That's when it dawned on me that a woman doesn't care if you have situational awareness or you've taken what's known as the purple pill. So long as they have control of your behavior and your actions, and you do what they ask of you through their covert or other ways, they don't really care if you actually put the pieces together about female nature. That's why women don't care about the men's rights movement and even encourage it. They seem to be so confident in their abilities to seduce men even when the man has all the knowledge about female nature in the world. So it's possible to be drawn back to the dark side. Almost every single woman out there believes that she can make any man fall in love with her while she's younger. It's obvious that people in the past knew about female nature, as well as women's ability to trick men into doing what they wanted him to do. That's why there were probably so many decency standards with regards to dress code, where women weren't even allowed to show off their ankles. Can you imagine a society where even the sight of a woman's naked ankle could actually make a man wet? But once the flapper culture showed up, that's when the standards of chastity were thrown out the window, and it was sexual repression that led to all the bullshit that we see today. The way I see it, the MGTOW monk philosophy has now replaced that. It's basically all about self-imposed sexual repression for the betterment of the individual male. You don't become crazy and addicted to sex if you cut women out of your life, and you can think clearly now, because your brain is basically off the boobs. In some societies, simply seeing a woman's eyes is enough to turn a man into basically falling in love. That's why in Afghanistan, women are often kept indoors and not allowed outside, and even their eyes are actually covered with full burqas. Some societies have gone to such extremes to fight men's natural emotional states and the ability to fall in love with women so they can instead focus on other things. But ironically, by getting rid of too many freedoms, they stifle innovation and progress. The Europeans over the last few centuries before the 20th century got things right. Repress human sexuality but also allow men to invent and explore by not enforcing draconian religious codes on everyone. It's a combination of giving men freedom to be themselves away from women and also keeping women covered up and under social as well as sexual control that led to the great progress that we see right now around us in our civilization. Right now I feel that we've actually gone too far with regards to free sex, but feminists and the politically correct are trying to stop men from thinking freely. In many Muslim countries, they took covering women too far and turned men into manginas as a result. The men in such places are often so thirsty that they have a hard time thinking about achieving anything marvelous, and even if they could, their ideological religion would probably stop them from doing so. In Western societies, men are sexually free, but at the same time sexually repressed because women are chasing too few men. Now we're also going to be mentally repressed as well. In Muslim countries, men are sexually repressed because they can't see a naked woman unless it's their wife, and they can't think freely because they're being blasted by megaphones from the great Allah almost on an hourly basis. Western men in the 19th century also didn't seem to fall prey to the same types of romantic love that are destroying our society today. I think that to fully be a man, you actually have to throw away this silly notion that a romantic love soulmate is going to rescue your life from the hell that you find yourself in. Western society, through our culture and media, is promoting the idea that men should love women and not that we should actually understand them. We're never taught to question a woman's motives and actions because apparently she always knows best. If popular culture did give out red pills, we would quickly learn that love is just a fool's paradise. As I've said in past videos, most married men eventually learn about female nature, and then they no longer love their wives with a sort of romantic love. It becomes more of a love between a brother and a sister. Once you learn that you've actually been had and that your own biology tricked you into marriage and the pair bond, it gets very depressing for you indeed. Popular culture understands that the majority of men will figure out women eventually, so the goal is to stop it. But by pumping out romantic comedies and love songs, the idea is to slow the rational man's brain down so he doesn't come to that conclusion that love is a sham sooner than he would have naturally because outside forces weren't influencing him. Once a man gets into his late 30s and early 40s, his sex drive starts to decline a bit and he starts thinking far more rationally about women. If men could start thinking like that when they were in their late teens and early 20s, then we'd have a very different society indeed. I believe that men thought like that over 100 years ago because if they fell in love and married the wrong woman, and basically married her, then their life would be completely ruined. So men were probably encouraged to understand female nature instead of just loving them blindly. Today, on the other hand, through all the social engineering used around us, the opposite is true. We are encouraged not to question the quality of character in women, but instead to follow our hearts, even if they lead us to ruin. If in the future there's a societal collapse, romantic love will disappear quickly, and the society-wide understanding of female nature will surge as men with limited resources try to protect themselves from greedy women. Anyways, that's all I've got to say for today. Thanks again, Mr. Anonymous, for bringing up this subject because it allows me to do a thought experiment covering how I feel about the struggle that went on inside of me between wanting a woman to love versus actually wanting to love myself. Please check out the MGTOW mystery link as well, and also smash that like button below this video. As for everyone else out there, please follow me on Twitter or like me on Facebook to get tomorrow's video today. Thanks for taking your daily dose of red pills. And remember, a red pill a day keeps the blinding love away. So enjoy the rest of your day, and cheers.